Hello from Door County. I'm Josh Casey. I'm here in Egg Harbor. Egg Harbor is the first municipality in Door County to become a GreenTier legacy community. And here's Lydia Simo, the Village Sustainability Coordinator, who's going to be my guide as we dive into what makes Egg Harbor so special. Before I could get out into the village, I sat down with Angela Lensch, one of the founding GreenTier task force members and driving force behind Egg Harbor's sustainability initiatives.
I truly feel that to create sustainable change, it has to start with oneself, within themselves and their home, and then taking that information into their community. We're a village, so we have a small community. There's more people that know each other and overlaps with life where we can really be really effective to make change in regards to sustainability. Oh, I think there's kind of like a myth about sustainability, like it's some, hippie, tree hugger, trying to save the world kind of thing. And to me, it's so much more about health. It's just straightforward. When our air is cleaner, when our water is cleaner, when the land that we grow our food in is cleaner, we can't help but benefit from that. Mm-hmm. And I just see how health ties into every area of sustainability.
Many people's journey towards sustainable living starts with sustainable food. Local business owner Kathy Navis has been supplying local natural foods for a long time. Okay, so 15 years you opened this place. How did it get started?
I have eaten organic natural food really my whole life. And I thought, well, this is what we need in Door County as a natural food store. So about 2 years into running the business, we actually started our own farm. So we have the freshest organic produce anywhere because we pick it today and we bring it in today.
Well, in terms of sustainability, having it focused as much as possible on local produce.
Right.
You're not trucking in stuff from the south or, from across the state even.
Exactly, absolutely. Yeah. It's a very tight circle.
So you've been here a while. What have you seen in terms of the growth of just paying attention to sustainability?
So we've had a really good reaction from businesses around town to switch to paper or recycled paper cups. And then the composting program in Egg Harbor is fabulous.
Speaking of compost, we met up with Jess Ranke, property manager of the Crest Pavilion and steward of the Village compost site. What motivated you to start this program?
Yeah, so I've composted at home forever. I'm a big home gardener. Food that doesn't make it to a compost pile and ends up in a landfill actually contributes a lot of methane to the environment. So it's a really easy way for people to divert food waste from the landfill and turn it into something that's useful. Incorporate it into our soil, put it into your garden beds. It's just a really easy way to do some climate action.
Compost is available to anyone in the village. Recently, the village expanded its compost program to include local restaurants and their food scraps. After a full morning, Lydia and I sat down at Shipwreck Brew Pub for a patio lunch.
Hi, Beth and Rob.
Hi.
This is Josh.
Hello.
Hi. Nice to meet you.
Thanks for coming.
Likewise. Great to be here.
Josh is here to learn a little bit more about what you guys do for your sustainable initiatives.
For us, it all starts with our disposables. That's the biggest impact that we can make. And by making them biodegradable, it was our first step really towards sustainability. So our cups and our straws, those are corn. So it looks like plastic. Plastic obviously is a huge drain on the environment, but these are a big step towards us being able to help and keep things sustainable. All of our to-go packaging, which has been especially big in this past year, that is all biodegradable as well.
All right.
So it's really working with the community, using everything we can locally, and then giving back so there's as little waste as possible.
Belly's full, we're off to the village's cherry orchard. It is Door County after all. Mary, where's all the cherries?
Well, they're harvested. They're gone. They're on to their new lives, whatever that may be. But our task force has a committee called the Toxic Chemical Free Committee, which is working to make the village chemical free in the very near future. And one of the happy discoveries of that was that we also happen to have an orchard or part of an orchard growing on public land.
So this was a good place to start.
And this is crucially important because for a county that is as dependent on agriculture as Door County is, good land management is essential to addressing issues related to the environment and climate change. So if we can't find a way to work with our farms and growers, we are not going to get to some of our biggest issues with respect to sustainability and quality of life in Door County.
Organic land management discussions have just begun between the GreenTier task force and the cherry grower. Another example of the impact small communities can have on larger climate issues. Before I could leave Egg Harbor, I had one more stop to make.
Well, welcome to Egg Harbor and the marina.
It's beautiful here.
Thank you. We think so. We don't think there's a prettier marina on the peninsula. We are a Wisconsin clean marina. There are 22 certified clean marinas in the state of Wisconsin, and I think about 19 more that have signed the pledge to become clean. The Clean Marina program really means that we try to do all the small things that, when added together, contribute to the clean water. Well, Door County in general, water quality is an issue, whether you're inland or here on the coast. The peninsula is part of the Niagara Escarpment, and we're on the escarpment end of the peninsula, the side of the peninsula. And so the thing is just rock. We have very shallow topsoil, so even inland from here, anything that sits on the surface goes down, hits the bedrock, goes down through fissures, and we drink it. And so whatever we do on shore impacts what goes on down here. So it's not just about our parking lot here and our boaters and our fishermen, but it's also about everything that goes on up in the village. Everything we can do is going to make this a much better place.
So what motivates you to play this role between the GreenTier and running the marina and being part of all that?
Well, it's really pretty simple. It's my granddaughter. When I grew up in the 1950s and really enjoyed splashing around in the lakes and in Lake Michigan, actually on the south shore of Lake Michigan, and I want her and I want her children to be able to enjoy that too. And so I think people say that you borrow things from your grandkids, and I think that's what this amounts to. We've got to take care of this for the next generation and the one after that.
Being here gave me so much hope. Seeing a small village come together and have tangible results is incredible. And talking to Lydia, they're not planning to stop anytime soon.
And I get asked the question all the time, like, how do you know when you're done being sustainable? Where's their end point? And in reality, there is no end point. We can continue to be more sustainable, and there's always going to be new methods, new technology, new things that we can do as a community to just keep growing and being more sustainable for years.
This has been an incredible way to learn about sustainability and experience the village of Egg Harbor. It's definitely going to make me think about where and how I choose to travel. And I can't wait to bring my family back to enjoy beautiful Door County.